Ladies and gents, kings and queens, welcome to yet another episode of Thank You for Playing podcast. I'm joined by my great friends / co-hosts, Lambo and BLJ. And it is a great night to podcast. This is the Mighty Toro, and we're going to jump right into it. So,
we got a lot
play,
to talk about today.
Oh, yeah. State of Play and Tokyo Game Show. They just, out of nowhere, dropped some bangers. The internet is ablaze right now. It is buzzing, you know. I love moments like these because I feel like with what's going on in the world, a lot of people's escape is gaming. And if you're a gamer, this is a great time to be a gamer because I'm just going to start it off. Tekken 8. God damn. Oof. Tekken 8. with the steel chair, you know? Can we get
ready for the next battle?
Yeah, can we get a gif of somebody getting hit with a steel chair? Because that's how Tekken 8 hit the world. Just dropped it out of nowhere. No build up, no nothing. So we're going to get the trailer rolling. I don't know how exactly Lambo going to do it. I'm going to leave it up to him. But it's the usual. The Mishima feud.
Don't you worry about my dark arts.
Oh, yeah. The Mishima feud is still going on. Minus Heihachi. R.I.P. Heihachi. And R.I.P. to his voice actors. But Kazuya and his son
Make me sad.
Oh, yeah. Kazuya and his son are locked in heated battle. And I believe it's raining outside. And BLJ has praised the graphics repeatedly. He says it's a beautiful game. Go ahead and tell him, BLJ, how you feel about the graphics
first
of the game.
off, I think it's doing a little more than just raining.
Okay.
So I feel like
I think.
Keep going. You can keep going.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a full blown fucking storm going on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, continue, BLJ.
I want to say this may be a little premature, because the trailer came out not even a week ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. But
I don't even think it was that long ago. I think it's only been like 3 days.
Maybe like 3 days. But the graphics that I've seen in that trailer, I want to say those are the best graphics I've seen in a video game to date.
2 days.
To date.
These are the greatest graphics I've seen in my life.
No, they really look
really good though.
Yeah, they look good.
You can see the pores on their skin.
The water drizzling down their
definition.
Face. It's funny.
Whoa.
What's up?
Oh, well, yeah. I know we playing the trailer and all that, but I'm going to get Lambo to show off his skills. I like it when Lambo get the flex. He try not to, but I request that he show off these beast-ass editing skills. There is a part where Kazuya gets knocked back, and he straightens up from the recoil. He regains his composure, and he stands up, and he's all looking mean, and his eye glows red. And he looks at Jin. He's like, "Hey, son, you done messed up now." And then after that, that's when the trailer goes beast mode. But I love that part. That's why I had him slow-mo it. But he gets up all slow, and he looks up at the screen, and his eye glows even redder. Like, it's so cool. I remember during one of our earlier episodes, we were talking about our favorite video game characters. For my OG listeners, when y'all put up y'all virtual chair, y'all heard me go on and on about how I think Kazuya is like the most badass video game character of all time. And this trailer just strengthens my argument. Like, even this man got a duck butt haircut, and it doesn't make his cool factor drop. Because it's always going to be a duck butt haircut. But he's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a badass. So the trailer goes on and on with father and son quarrel. And they have to give the plot armor to Jin. Jin getting stomped out, and he turns on his devil trigger, and he gets a hit on Kazuya. Not necessarily that he wins, but he gets the upper hand, and the trailer cuts off, and then it says Tekken 8. Now, I'm going to sit here and be one of those hardcore fanboys and say it don't matter how much training Jin goes through. At least right now, Jin can't beat his dad. He's not the true. He doesn't have the true devil gene. Of course, it got passed down, unless it's that crazy Dragon Ball Z Saiyan
I don't
lore
know.
to where the gene gets stronger. But I don't see him ever beating Kazuya. Like I just don't
It
see it
looks like
happening.
he has learned to master the devil gene in that trailer. Because it looks like he's harnessing the power of the devil gene without actually letting it take over now.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
And we don't know any of the mechanics of the game just yet, but
Yeah, that's true.
that could be displaying like an install type feature for him,
Could be, yeah.
For sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull out that thick Tekken lore book and say Kazuya already mastered his devil gene in the last game. When Kazuya fought Goki at the end of the game and he went devil form, he was himself. I feel like he suppressed his devil gene in Tekken 4, one of his endings. Like the devil is talking to him and he suppresses it and his eye glows red. And from there on out, he is in absolute control of that power. And that is why he's just beast mode, He's such a
But I don't
cool
remember
character.
when it was, but yeah, it was 3 or 4.
It was 100% 4. Like it wasn't 3, it was 4.
Was it 4?
Because 4 had those cool endings, Those endings were really cool because they ended in that temple. And it all
I think
depended
3 was
on
maybe the first time we saw Devil Jin.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm. They just showed him at the end, but I believe he debuted. He debuted in 4. I believe so. But I've been sitting here talking on and on about the trailer. I want to hear y'all's thoughts about what was going on. So
I was going to ask y'all, like, with what we see in the trailer, does this mean someone else is going to die this game, or are they going to have this feud for a little while before someone else dies?
They would not. I'm gonna say this right quick. Sorry, BLJ, but he done rev me back up. They would not dare commit a cardinal sin and kill off Kazuya Mishima. They tried it before, and people lost their damn mind. I don't see them killing off Jin. I don't think Jin is gonna die either. He's too much of the. He's not necessarily the poster boy, but he has a huge fan base. So I don't know if they're gonna fight to a stalemate or what. But I don't think...
That's what I'm saying is, like, do you think it'll be this game, or do you think they'll go 3 or 4 games down the road and then kill somebody else? Maybe with Tekken 10, they kill somebody else.
Well, that is a ways away if they even close out the Tekken series. But I don't know what their plan is. But that's a good question.
For all we know, this game could bomb, and Tekken 8 is the last Tekken.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As gorgeous as it looks, I hope that's not the case, but you are correct. That could happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. I don't have any theories on who's going to die, but after y'all said y'all piece, I have a question. Unless one of y'all beat me to it, I have a question for the both of y'all, and it actually includes myself as well. But I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and tell me y'all thoughts on the Tekken 8 as a whole.
Go ahead, BLJ.
No, what I was saying was, man, I forgot my thought, man. I had it and I forgot it. There you go, Lambo. It'll come back to me, man. It'll come back to me.
So one thing I saw in the trailer that I'm curious is if it's going to actually be in the middle of the matches is like when Kazuya jumps over Jin's low kick and kicks him in the chest, it slows down in that moment like it does at the end of a round in Tekken 7 if it looks like the final hit is going to be close. So I'm curious if they're going to do more dynamic things like that in the middle of a match, or if that's just for the cinematic purposes of the trailer and or that story moment in the game. Because it definitely seems like that's probably one of the last fights in the story.
I think they said, I read an article somewhere that footage that was in the trailer is actually like, it's all in game, but like that was a story mode battle. Like, so
a
lot of those camera angles and slowdowns is probably going to be only in the story. Because if you think about it, in Tekken 7, they actually have a lot of like camera tricks that they do. Like, you ever notice when you get hit with like a hard counter hit, the camera actually zooms in on you really fast, with literally like not even a second. And usually in fighting games, people don't like that stuff. They're like, man, the camera is moving, I can't concentrate on it. But Tekken literally does it every time there's like a hard like counter hit, or when you hit people through the wall, it zooms in. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah,
I can see them doing that with the camera stuff. I just don't think it'll be a slowdown effect. And the one cool part that was in there is when Kazuya flexed his bicep, and after he did his move, you know?
Oh,
But I don't think that'll be like in competitive play. I don't think you'll ever see that in Tekken 8. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like what's the supers called? The Rage Arts or whatever.
Rage Art.
Yeah, but I don't think that's gonna be like like in just normal pace of battle. You gonna see people flexing their quads and neck trap muscles and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily talking about that part of it, but more specifically the slowdown when two hits are looking like they're going to be either simultaneous or close, and you're not sure who's going to win the trade.
Well, actually, I mean that's what they do already now. When y'all both are, I forget the percentage of life that you're at, but when y'all both have like rage, they already do the slowdown thing. So maybe,
yeah,
maybe
that's what I'm talking about. Like if they're going to expand that system to happen more often during a match rather than only being the final hit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
That'd be kind of interesting, I think. You know, and even if you give people the option to turn it off, especially because I know people are going to want to turn it off when it comes to big tournaments. So having the option to turn it off would be great, but I think it'd be cool to have it in there as well as having the ability to turn it on.
Yeah. Oh, and back to your point about the lore and somebody possibly dying in the story. I think Kazuya and Jin, they're just too popular of characters to like ever die. Like I don't know how long the Tekken series will go, but I don't think we'll ever see those two guys die. That's literally like Ryu and Ken for them, kind of. You know what I mean? Like I don't really see them dying at any point in the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And even with Jin, he's so popular. The last couple games, his alternate form, the Devil, has been in both games, Tekken Tag and Tekken 7. Like, so he's just popular all the way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So y'all said what y'all wanted to say, because now I'm about to drop this question.
Drop it.
What's up?
All right.
Like it's hot.
So we looked at this trailer, and from the reactions that I've heard from you two and myself, we were all impressed with the visuals. Like, wow, what ain't that how Owen Wilson said? Wow, So my question is this, and I thought about it. Who are you looking forward to seeing the most in these new graphics? Like any Tekken character.
Christy.
Oh, Christy Montiero. Montiero, that's her name. Yeah. You said you kid. I thought you were serious.
Yeah. No.
That's a baddie. Like, pull up a picture of her for real quick. Yeah, look, she's a baddie.
No, she definitely is.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, cool.
But
so all right,
it's really got to be. It's got to be my main man.
Wrong. Oh yeah.
Like I want to see the character I'm going to play.
I feel like that's going to be a given. He's going to be there.
Oh yeah, because BLJ was talking about like this is Tekken's Ryu and Ken. I feel like narratively, Tekken's Ryu and Ken is Jin and Haorong. Like Jin is the Ryu struggling with his evil powers, and Haorong's the one that's just kind of his buddy showing up to help him out, and not being evil, just generally being a pretty decent guy.
Got you. BLJ, I know that you weren't too deep into Tekken, but is it anybody that you want to see in Tekken 8 Glory?
So you say I'm not too deep into Tekken. I guess I don't like. I always purchase Tekken when they come out. For some reason, I don't stick around playing them.
Gotcha.
I do watch every tournament for it. I think Tekken is like Street Fighter is my main thing, but Tekken is a close second. You know what I mean? So,
gotcha.
it's a lot of characters that I like in the game. It's a lot of stuff that I just like in the game in general. I don't think there's really a specific character that I'm waiting to see. I mean, two of my favorite characters, Kazuya, I like him more than Jin, but like just seeing him in this new engine, like that was enough for me, you know. Like Kazuya is one of
Gotcha.
my favorite characters, like in superhero or fighting game, whatever, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
don't know.
he's a badass.
Yeah,
He
so
looks cool.
just seeing them two fight, that was good enough for me. And let me get you two's opinions on this because I was thinking about this when I saw this trailer. But I want to say every generation of a console, do you feel like Tekken always pushes the graphical limits compared to other games?
Yes,
Because I
yes,
want to say,
100%.
yeah, because I want to say every time I play, like I want to say when Tekken 5 was out. I mean, now when
It
you
looked
look,
amazing.
yeah, now when you look at it in comparison to Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, it don't look that great. But back then,
It still looks great.
it
Like, let's
looks good.
reword that.
But
It
For
pales
what
in
it
comparison.
is, yeah.
Yeah, it pales in comparison to its superiors. But Tekken 5 released on PS2, right? Yeah, it released on 2.
Yeah.
That mug trumped over any other fighting game that came near it. Like, it
Hmm.
looked great.
no, I mean like just
Let's
all
move
the
on.
games and not fighting games. I'm talking about like just
Oh yeah,
all
for sure.
any
Well,
game.
heavy contender with Tekken 5 graphics wise was Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. That game looked amazing too. But let's jump to PS3 right quick.
Okay.
Before they released Tekken 6, they released Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection and they made it look even more crisp on the PS3. Then
Yeah.
they acted a fool and released Tekken 6. I remember when Tekken 6 came out and they remade Jin, gave him the trench coat and he was a businessman. Man, those graphics were crisp. I was like, whoa, this mug is legit. Then let's go even further down the timeline. They really was spinning on their head and doing the breakdance in the office because they crunk out their heat Tekken Tag Tournament 2. BLJ, you can't tell me Tekken Tag 2 didn't blow you away. Like
No, I
when
did.
they
That's why I brought this question up because
oh yeah.
I feel like every Tekken and every like generation of gaming, their games always look like the best out of any game that's out. Like, I mean, there's some close ones, for sure. But like, I always feel
Yeah.
like Tekken always pushes the graphics whenever they do it. Like, I mean, I want to say
Yeah.
when Tekken Tag 2 came out, like a game that might have been close to it, like at the time was maybe like the NBA 2K series or something like that when it comes to graphics and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, I feel like Tekken always doesn't disappoint in the graphics. Like they really push it. And I want to even go back to Tekken 3. That was the thing when Tekken 3 came out. People was like, man, this game looks really good for its time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. I recently
It
just
still looks good
rebooted it up.
today.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say I just recently rebooted it up on PC and it still looks good for the era it came out of. I'm gonna jump back to Tekken Tag 2 because you got me excited talking about it. I don't know why they did this. I'm gonna raise my voice. They introduced us to a baddie that is Julia Chang, but she went under this alias JC. She was a professional wrestler. When I saw JC and she comes out on stage before she fights, I'm like, whoa, like she looks really, really good. And she's charming and she incorporates wrestling moves in her move set along with the Chinese martial arts that her mama, Michelle Chang, shout out to the OG, taught her. So then they introduced the homie Bob. Bob's a big old boy. He's a pretty thick boy. But then they released his alter ego, Slim Bob, and he just looked cool with those graphics. And he had his hoodie on. And what was so cool about Slim Bob is he had Bob's moves, but since he didn't have the weight, he looked kind of derpy performing the big boy moves, and it still fit in the Tekken game engine. It didn't look silly. It was derpy, but it didn't look ridiculous. So going back, I'm not trying to stray too far from the graphical comparison, but when you have all those great elements of cool new characters and graphical excellence, it just it creates a memory, like a good memory. So I'm going to agree with you 300% that Tekken usually leads the charge with graphical excellence, I should say. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, no, they always do a good job, man. For a long time now, I've always thought Tekken games look really good, but this game, the most recent one, like it really does look beautiful. Like if you're a nerd for video games and you see this, like it's unlike any game I've ever seen before, like in my life. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because it just came out, but like it's not too many games that look like that and move that.
The real fun part is you got to think you're seeing this through YouTube's compression on top of that.
Yeah.
So when you actually get the game and are able to view it on your own TV, especially for those of us lucky enough to have 4K HDR TVs, whew, that's going to be a whole nother game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So parachuting back in with my question, the character I want to see the most in Tekken 8, and I don't even know if they're coming back. They were a newcomer on Tekken 7, and once they got introduced, I just fell in love with this character.
Akuma.
No, not Goki. Katarina. That's who I want to see the most. She had her sunglasses. She was cocky. She was fun. You know, she had the sex appeal, and she just has all these flashy kicks. And she has this one win quote, and she says something like, "You possess the technique, but not the spirit." I like it when she says that. And she has another win quote where she says, "Go back home to your mama." And then she points at the screen all cool and she walks away. I would love to see what Bandai Namco does with Katarina in Tekken 8. I really, really, really hope she makes a return. There are other characters I want to see too. I feel like my boy Lars is a given. I would flip out if Lars don't come back. But
Katarina that's actually an interesting point.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish. I'm going to ask you this here in a second.
Okay, cool. But Lars, I feel like he's a given. Fakum the Muay Thai kickboxer, he's going to look so badass, but I know he's coming back. Leroy's coming back. Lydia, all those new characters that they introduced, they gave us bits and pieces of their story. So I feel like that they were like Luke from Street Fighter V, where they let you try him out early, but the game that they're meant to debut on is the next gen system. But I'm really hoping, I'm a little worried for Katarina, even though she debuted on Tekken 7. Her reception was mixed. People liked her. Some people didn't like her. They said she was too simple, which that's not fair to her that they made her moveset simple. I really, really, really hope they bring her back. Piece of lore, Gigas is another character. I don't know if Gigas is coming back, but Gigas is supposedly her adopted father, and he got experimented on by the Mishima Zaibatsu or something like that, or G Corp. It's one of them. So if Gigas doesn't come back,
one of those evil corporations.
Yeah, but I really, really, really want Katarina to come back. I hope they bring her back.
You know what?
But yeah, go ahead, Lambo. Oh, what's up, BLJ? Go ahead.
You can get your point out, Lambo. I'll go after you, man.
I was going to say, with Heihachi being out of the way now, do y'all think they're going to have either Lee or Lars, or maybe both of them, step up into the rivalry more?
Well, Lars is already kind of in the rivalry. He kind of
that's what I'm saying, like stepping up their involvement.
Oh yeah, because man, y'all are really making my Tekken lore meter go off. But Lars was introduced as a new character in Tekken 6, right? Yeah. They pushed him to the front. Like he was featured as a guest character in a couple of games, and Tekken Force Mode and Tekken 6, and I know BLJ will agree with me, but Tekken Force Mode and Tekken 6 was amazing. It was Lars.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, it was Lars and is her name Elisa or something like that?
Elisa.
What is her name?
Yeah, Eliza.
It was those two, and it was great. And Lars was a star. And it was this cool ass part where Lars and Kazuya discovered that they were brothers. And Kazuya is like, is this some type of sick joke? And they fight to a stalemate. They didn't let Kazuya beat him up. They both have the devil gene or whatever. Well, no, Does Lars have no?
No,
Lars
they
don't have the
shouldn't.
devil gene.
No, Lars doesn't have the devil gene because his
but-
mom isn't Kazumi.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's retract that. They still fought to a stalemate. Kazuya just didn't go into devil form. That's what happened. But as to the answer to your question, I feel like Lars is too heroic. Well, no, it doesn't matter. You just saying will they step into the main fold? They might. Lee is more of a what is it now? He's more of a not a side character, but Lee is more of a what is the character
Lee
where
seems
they
to like to play from the shadows.
Yeah,
Like, it seems like he orchestrates his plans and just pulls the strings. He doesn't actually get into the fray himself.
And he's not really involved in the main story anymore. He stopped trying to win Heihachi's approval, and he dropped his rivalry with Kazuya. And for a while, he was focused on making his combats, worldwide.
Yeah.
Tekken 7, I can't even really remember what his deal was, besides running around and whooping on people with flair and yelling excellent. But I don't remember what
Excellent.
I don't remember what his ambitions was in Tekken 7. And as for Lars, Lars wants justice, but I don't know. It would be cool if, like you said, one of those two stepped into the fray. But I think they're narrowing it down to Jin and Kazuya on purpose. So that's what I think is going to become of that. I also think that Goki, him and Geese, I don't think they're coming back. Even though it's cool as hell that
probably not.
Goki is part of the Tekken 7 lore, but with the death of Kazumi, I think he's gone. His debt was to her. And I still think that's weird that he owes her a debt. And I think I mentioned this before. It's so cool when he meets Heihachi and he declares that he's going to kill him and he owes a debt to Kazumi. And Heihachi turns around and is like, why do you owe her a debt? And he's like, that's of no concern to you. Now imagine my weeb meter. I'll admit it. Imagine my weeb meter back then when, Goki from Street Fighter is talking to Heihachi and Heihachi's trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And he's like, that's of no concern to you. And I'm like, oh, shit, it's about to go down. So I think it's going to stay narrowed down to Kazuya and Jin. But back to what I was saying, and I'm going to mention her again because she's so great. So we can get a picture of her right here. Katarina, please come back. Bandai Namco, please let her come back. That's who I want to see. But yeah, y'all go ahead.
One last thing I want to say to go back to your question of who I want to see most in the game. I know I said I'm seeing Kazuya and Jin fight, but after seeing like the weather effects and like the rocks and stuff like popping up from the ground that was falling down and stuff, like I really want to see all the new stages, to be honest with you. And for many years now, I want to say since Tekken 4, I mean, even Tekken 3 has some really good stages. Well, shit, all of them really, but I don't feel like they really disappoint with the stages ever. So I'm really excited to see the stages in the game. And not to mention the music, because the music is always top tier for me in all the Tekken games.
I was going to say, I don't know. I feel like, to me, Tekken 7 dropped the ball. That's just in my opinion. It was a lot of womp, 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 womp. But hey, if that's float your boat, thug it out. But I will say that they made up for it for me. The great Harada-sama, they brought the jukebox. So even though I didn't like the main Tekken 7 soundtrack, and that's just my humble opinion, I'm not saying it was awful. I don't speak for everybody. They let me go back in the time machine and bring back the Tekken 2 bangers, the Tekken 3 bangers. So at the end of the day, everybody won. And that is what was so great about Tekken. I'm about to bash Street Fighter 5. Yeah, I'm about to bash Street Fighter 5 because instead of them letting us do that, they landlocked the music to certain characters and certain stages.
What? Capcom doing greedy things?
Oh, no. It's about to get worse. I'm about to bash this other game, and it makes me sad because I don't want to bash them. But fucking Samurai Showdown, they locked the music to the character. So, and the character had to be on the player 2 side. So there's this sweet swordswoman, and I'm making Lambo work double
You
time,
jumping all
triple
over the
time.
place.
Yeah. What's her
I'm
name?
about to start charging you.
Hibiki. Oh, don't do that. This show's gonna get canceled.
Per reference.
Hibiki, we're gonna pull a picture up of her here. She's a adorable swordsman, and I want to go into her story on another episode. But
That'd be
Hibiki,
$10.
oh man, boy, we already in the negatives. She comes from The Last Blade, and they did a remix of a stage on The Last Blade. That song wasn't specific to her, but it's a beautiful song. And I think it's called like Determination in the Dawn. Unfortunately, you can't hear it, or we really will get canceled. But in order to hear that song, you have to be player 2 and you have to pick her. And that is the stupidest shit one of the stupidest things I ever heard or had to deal with. Like, why would you make the character themes exclusive to the character and they have to be on player 2? Like, why not just let you pick the character themes? So, shout out to Bandai Namco for letting you play any character's theme whenever you wanted to hear it, no matter who you pick. Newsflash to developers: people want to be able to customize their experience the way they want to customize it. Why are you what is that called when they're controlling, what word am I looking for, Lambo? I'm drawing a blank.
Shit, I don't know.
Oh my god. I can't think of the word.
Douchebags?
No, like I'll think of it later, but basically they're controlling your experience, from far away.
They're being controlling?
Yeah, but it's another fancy word that I had, and it flew out of my head. They're micromanaging, but it's another word, but I ain't gonna linger on it.
Gatekeeping?
Yeah, that could work too. But basically, they're controlling what you listen to, and you paid for it, and the music's in the game. But they're like, hey, it's like they're dictating what you listen to. Like,
Simple
you want to
fix
listen
to
to
that.
What?
Turn the volume down and pull up on Spotify the song you want to listen to.
I don't think all those bangers are on Spotify, and
well, it doesn't have to be Spotify. It could be wherever you find it.
Yeah, but then you drown out the sound effects.
Who needs sound effects when you got bangers?
I don't know, man. That's lose. But I don't want to turn this into a event.
Yeah, we're
session.
getting way off track.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to see the stages, BLJ. I want to say that I either heard or read somewhere that the weather effects are going to be dynamic too, so they're not always going to look the same.
Okay.
So that will add some variety to these gorgeous stages.
Yeah, no, I just always feel like Tekken delivers on the stages, so based off what the trailer showed, I'm really excited to see those, I mean, every game, they always have a snow stage, so I'm excited to see the snow stage in this game, They got a lot of infinity stages. I'm excited to see those. I'm excited to see.
Oh, this seems like an infinity stage in the trailer.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, it looked like it. I'm excited to see.
It definitely looked like there was some parallax going on in there.
Yeah,
but it looks like they definitely turned down the severity of the parallax, at least from what I could see in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it'll actually look like once we get it in our hands, but it does look like they turned it down a bit.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see the wall breaks and breaking through the floor and stuff. I think it'll be quite beautiful, if you ask me,
But there's no specific character outside of these two that you really are looking forward to?
No, man. So like with Tekken, like the characters is the one thing that I really like over Street Fighter, really. You know what I mean? Like I love the Tekken characters. So any characters that you throw at me, it's not a lot of Tekken characters that I dislike. So they could have had a trailer with Mokujin. I'd be like, oh shit, Mokujin, So
fair enough.
I'm excited to see, man. If anything, I'm excited to see the new characters. I always feel like they design the newcomers really well. Leroy was pretty dope. Falcon was really dope. I didn't really like Eliza or what's Elizabeth, the dragon, the vampire girl.
Oh,
She was like a TV
don't
character.
get me lying. I
didn't-
don't remember her.
Yeah,
I didn't really,
I know who you're talking about. That's
I
her.
didn't really like her, but I just, even when Lars was first introduced in Tekken 6 and Miguel in Tekken 6, like I always liked the newcomers. So I just want to see the newcomers, man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you didn't like Miguel. I was gonna say, man,
No,
Miguel was
Miguel,
super dope when he showed up.
no.
What?
In Tekken 6 and 7, he was my main, him and Paul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Miguel's great.
Yeah, I like Miguel a lot.
Probably one of the best everyman characters in Tekken.
You said the best what?
Everyman, like he's just a regular person.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's nothing special about him. You know, like Brian is a cyborg. Jin and Kazuya have the devil gene and all that. But
I guess him and Paul,
Miguel is just a normal person.
yeah, him and Paul just normal folks.
Yeah. There are several everyman characters in Tekken, but Miguel's one of the best ones, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know a character that Toro is definitely looking forward to seeing.
Who's that?
Try your luck.
Supersonic?
Supersonic.
Yeah.
You talking about Tekken? What we getting at?
No, I'm talking about Sonic.
Oh, you talking about the new Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, game transition. That was smooth. What was it? Tokyo Game Share? Boy.
Yeah, Tokyo Game
Share. Yikes. Hey, don't throw tomato. Put that tomato down. I saw whoever that is back there listening. Put that tomato down. Players fuck up. My bad. Tokyo Game Show. Yeah, yes. I saw a trailer of Sonic Frontiers, and indeed, the legendary Supersonic was in the trailer. Not going to be on this long. I'm still not sold on Sonic Frontiers.
That's what we said
the
about Tekken 8.
The gameplay looks so. There's something about the world. It's not drawing me in. It still feels a little empty. I want it to do good. I'm a Sonic mega fan, right? Sonic Adventure games were pretty cool, but there's something about this one. But it's just footage. I could play that game and fall in love with it. But games are going to have to work harder to fill Ghost of Tsushima's shoes. Because I'm going off topic a little bit, but Ghost of Tsushima was a game where I didn't know anything about it. I put the game in. Immediately when you start the game, it draws you in. I was drawn in a minute in, and I couldn't stop playing it. I don't get that same feeling from Sonic Frontiers, but Supersonic looks great. So here's
that's because you haven't put it in yet.
I have not. But here's hoping that game does good. Do y'all got anything on Sonic Frontiers? Or you just wanted to hear me?
I was going to say I'm surprised that you weren't more hyped about it, because everything I've heard from other people, they're super excited.
Oh no, not me. So I'm not drawn in yet. But I know something that
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, something that y'all might be drawn into, and I want to hear y'all's opinions on it. Is God of War Ragnarok. What are y'all thoughts on that in the trailer?
I'll let you take this one, BLJ.
Well, as a super fan of God of War, love Kratos for many years now. You know, what's not to love about a young man that rips people's heads off, legs off? You know, you can beat up Hercules, you can beat up Zeus. You know, what's not to love? You know what I mean? But this new trailer, man, the new gameplay looks pretty sick. It showed him doing some new things, like in the last God of War. I don't think he jumped. I don't think he had a jump button, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Whoa, you asking the wrong guy.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he had a jump button. I mean,
I think he just had a dodge button.
Yeah, so in previous games he could jump and stuff like that, but in this trailer it showed him like jumping from different platforms and stuff. So I don't know if it's actually a jump button, or is it like you get close to the edge and you can press the button and it just lets him transition to the next platform or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
You know, in the last one, they did do that. He'd walk up to a ledge and you'd press circle and he would jump across it. But outside of those specific instances, you couldn't just jump freely.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're able to let him jump freely or whatever. But I will say everything that I've seen in the trailer looked good. When he fought Thor at the end. Well, they didn't really fight, but when they like clashed at the end, the Thor was kind of chubby, but I like the design. He looks pretty cool. Atreus is older, has a little deeper voice. I ain't gonna lie. I really liked Atreus in the first game, but if you played through the story, sometimes he had a smart mouth on him. You know what I'm saying? Kratos had to let him know, hey, listen to me or you're going to die out here. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, he's more of a team player. I mean, he's a big team player, but hopefully he doesn't want to veer off and do his own thing in this newer story. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I 100%, but he is entering the rebellious. It's not a phase, Mom. He entering that phase, so he definitely going to be hard headed. You tripping?
The trailer even shows that too.
We'll see. And I'm down to listen to Kratos call him boy 1,000 times during the story. Boy, I'm down to hear that. So
read it, boy.
I'm not a boy. I'm a man. Shout out to that movie, but that's what he's gonna say.
Yeah, so it looks really good though. Looks amazing. What about you, Lambo? What do you think?
I mean, it looks good, but with the last God of War, I just didn't get into it like I did the original series. I never finished the last God of War, and I don't really have a desire to go back and play it again, let alone finish what I've already started.
Man, throw tomatoes at this man. How did you not finish the game?
Do it, because it's trash.
Oh, really? You didn't like it?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Nah, it's not that I didn't like it. It just, like, when I first booted it up, I was super into it. I was excited. I was into the gameplay. I was having fun with it. And then just over time, that fun just kind of disappeared. And then I never had that draw to pull me back to play the game. I'm not going to say it's a bad game, because it's not. It's just, it's not for me.
Gotcha.
And I kind of, because I didn't finish the last one, why would I play Ragnarok now,
I guess so. I'm a big God of War fan. I couldn't imagine a new one coming out and me not playing it. You know what I mean?
I was a big God of War fan.
Dang.
Until the last one.
Dang, what did it for you? Was it third person view?
No, that didn't bother me. Like I said, I don't really, there wasn't anything specific that I didn't like. It's just, I guess subconsciously, I just lost interest in it.
Okay.
And then, like, even going back to play it now, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, but I'm not like, this is really cool, I should go back and play it again.
Gotcha.
Because I did try at one point to go back and finish it, and I think I was in like Alfheim or something like that.
Yeah.
And got played it for a few hours, and was like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool, it's kind of interesting, and then didn't go back to it again.
Okay.
And then watching the new trailer, the new trailer doesn't even get me to want to go back and play the old game to play this one.
Man, just died out on him, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be like that sometimes. Well, that's my 2 cents.
It do be like that sometimes.
That's my 2 cents on it. What do you think, Tori?
Boy, you asking the wrong guy about God of War, but I will say it looks great. Shout out to younger brother again. I watched him play the first one. I think we talked about this when we had visited the OG God of Wars. I don't really play them. I have another pal. He plays the Resident Evil games, and I watch him play those. But I will say, trailer analysis, the story looks intense. I feel like that this studio is going to give the gamers what they want. I feel like it's going to be a detailed, rich story. And unfortunately for all of y'all, I don't feel like that this story is going to end with this game. I feel like it's going to be an even crazier cliffhanger, and you're going to have to wait 2 or 3 more years. But I really hope that y'all get y'all's money's worth with this game. There's this one particular scene in the trailer, and I think it was amazing. Atreus shoots an arrow into the sky at the sun, and one of the wolves chases it, and it makes it nighttime. That was legit. That was super legit. And also, Kratos' BFFs, the Valkyries, they came back. So he got to exercise with them. He
They
got a
look
good
like super
workout in with them.
Valkyries, though.
Yeah. So I
You're not
won't
dealing
speak.
with your average Valkyrie anymore.
Yeah. I won't speak much on it, but I want to say that it looks great. And with that being said, and y'all gave y'all take on God of War, I'm going to jump across to another platform. Since we playing this platformer game, I'm gonna jump to the next platform, and I'm gonna bring up Bill J. You might be a little weak in this one, but me and Lambo, we gonna talk briefly about the Crisis Core
Oh,
remake.
a game that does look
Man,
great.
yeah. So
I'm excited.
I don't. Yeah, I am too. I don't feel like this is gonna be long winded with this, but the updated models look really good. But what makes
Okay.
me what makes me even more excited, and you know me, they have the newer voice actors from the
Mm-hmm.
remake reprising their roles in Crisis Core. So I'm excited about that. Um, they the footage that they showed, I don't know, it just has me sold. So I'm hoping that this game delivers. Lambo, do you by chance know when it drops?
December 13th.
Whoa, ain't too far away. So,
Nope. And
that's what's
for
up.
those of you that are interested in pre-orders, if you pre-order a physical copy, I think it's at any retailer, you get a fancy, fancy steel book to go with it.
Oh, that's cool.
And you know me and my collector's items.
Oh yeah. Well, I wish you luck with that one because I'm straight going digital. I won't be getting no
Oh, no, no,
steel
no. Don't
book.
get me wrong. I will be buying both a physical and digital copy, and I will not be opening the physical one.
Big baller, privileges of the rich.
I told you, me and my collector's items.
I got you.
Yeah, no, I got to preserve that for later. And I'll probably buy a used copy of it when it's like $10 so that when the internet's down and, 20 years and servers are down, we can't play a digital one anymore. I've at least got the cheap physical copy I can play.
That is legit. But by that time, I'll probably be looking up at the sky and I don't know, walking through my garden by then.
You remember when Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Remake came out?
Whoa, we won't be that far advanced. Nah, we'll still be thugging it out.
Oh, okay.
But long story short, that mug looks legit, and I can't
Oh,
wait
yeah.
for it.
And
Hmm.
one thing I was going to ask you, because you're more attuned to voice actors than I am, does it seem like Genesis has a new voice actor and a slightly different character model?
I didn't really listen in to Genesis voice actor. That's something I'd have to go back and listen to. But they
Yeah,
might
because
have
it
updated
may
his
just be
voice actor
me.
as well.
It
That's
may just be
something.
me, but he doesn't look or sound like what I remember in my head. But it's also been 15 years since I played that
Yeah,
game. So,
gotcha.
but even Sephiroth sounded weird. Like I know he's the new. They got the new voice actor to record his lines, but even he doesn't sound like he does in part one. So
I
that
think
kind
they
of
did
stood
that
out to
on
me as
purpose.
well.
He's definitely the newer voice actor, but he had a different mind frame back then.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak with all that aggression and conviction from the remake. That's what I think that's from. Zach still sounds like Zach, happy
Yeah,
go lucky. So
definitely.
I'm hyped. Aerith, I'm thinking Aerith is the remake voice actor.
Oh yeah,
She
she
sounded
definitely
different
is.
to me. Okay, she sounded different too. It feels like that she talked a little different. I couldn't
Yeah,
really
she
tell, but I'm
sounded when I watched the trailer, she sounded just like part one Aerith to me.
got you. Well, I just wanted to see how you felt about that.
I'm
Uh,
excited.
oh yeah,
I was gonna
same
say, I
here.
think the only ones that didn't get new voice actors though are gonna be the characters that were only in Crisis Core. Is that what it seemed like to you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch it again. I didn't really just dig deep into it. I saw it and I was like, oh, crud, December. And I just left it
Hmm.
at that.
Yep.
I just wanted to briefly talk about it. And I wanted to
The
briefly talk about it because I'm about to, what was you saying?
I was going to say the other thing I don't know if you noticed is that we may have gotten a sneak peek at the new Odin model.
Oh yeah,
Because
I
they
seen it.
updated all the summons to be in line with part one, or in line with the remake, I should say. And Odin is not in part one.
Yeah, good eye. Only time will tell, but you could be right.
I'm just ready to play this game.
Well,
It is it's definitely my number one most anticipated at the moment in terms of
okay.
this year.
All
Hey,
righty.
quick question
Well,
for
I
you guys.
hope it doesn't disappoint you. Go
And
ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna use Torian line. Feel free to throw the tomatoes. But I am not aware of Crisis Core at all. I don't even know what this is. Now I've heard of it, but I really don't know what it is. What's Crisis Core?
You want to take this one?
Man, I was quiet and let you take. I'll go ahead and let you be Lord Master. I've been
All right.
Lord Mastering it up with Tekken and all that stuff. So go ahead.
Fair play. So Crisis Core is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. Obviously, we have multiple timelines with Final Fantasy VII now after the events of Part 1. Crisis Core takes place before the original timeline. If I remember correctly, it spans multiple years, but it ends about 3 or 6 months before the events of the original game. And in Crisis Core, you follow Zack Fair, one of the best characters in the entire series.
Yep.
And you go through his exploits of, if I remember correctly, he starts out as a soldier, right? He starts out as second class soldier.
I think so, man.
Yeah, so he starts out as a soldier already, and you're playing through his progression into being promoted to a first class soldier.
Okay.
And then,
And it's
like I
action
said,
packed too.
oh yeah, it's a super action oriented game. It looks like the combos. Somebody else pointed this out to me. I didn't even catch it. The combos in the remake are more in line with the combos in 7 Remake Part 1. There's a couple of moves that he's doing that are just straight up combos that Cloud does in Part 1. So it looks like they've revamped the combat in the game. A lot of the UI has been revamped. But back to your question, Crisis Core tells the story of Zack leading up to 7 original.
Okay. Cool. Because I had no idea. I ain't never.
And with a little bit of backstory given for Sephiroth as well.
And who's Sephiroth?
Sephiroth is the big bad guy of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, okay.
He's a good guy turned bad guy. And in Crisis Core, it's before he turns, so you get to see him when he's still a good guy trying to be the people's hero, basically.
And I'm not gonna linger too long, but you mentioned the name of that OG. So Sephiroth, he is a good guy in these games. He turned bad for good reason. Things were hidden from him. He said he felt like he was born different. He was a lot faster and stronger than his peers as he was growing up. He was revered as this legendary soldier. And later on, he figures out why he's a lot stronger than everyone else. And it gives him a sense of entitlement and godhood. And I won't say he descends into madness because he's not mad. He hasn't lost his mind, but he feels like it's his right to rule the planet. And that's all I'm gonna say because I will talk your head off
I was
about that
about to
all
say,
day.
you're going to give a lot of spoilers away. You keep up.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and run shoulder first through this wall, and now I'm on the topic of
Well, I was going to ask
what
you,
up?
what kind of
Go
weapon
ahead.
is it that Sephiroth uses?
The Masamune, and it's a telephone pole. That mug is like
A telephone
what
pole?
15? Yeah, that mug is super long. If you can, Lambo, boy, I'm already in the negatives. But can you pull up this image of the OG Final Fantasy VII art where it shows exactly how long his sword is?
Are you talking about the Amano artwork?
I don't know which one it is, but look how long this blade is. Oh. But yeah, if you see right here, BLJ, this blade is pretty long, and he wields it like it's nothing. Even in the game, he has this long ass blade, and he wields it effortlessly, and it has like, I don't know, crazy reach. They recently featured him in Smash Brothers Ultimate, and he still has that ridiculously long blade. Watch it, Lambo. But yeah, he still has this ridiculously long blade, and he wields it well.
Stop giving me the pauses.
Oh man. But like I said, I'm gonna move it right on along and shoulder tackle through this wall. And now I want to talk about, and I'm sure both of you seen this trailer. Let's talk about Rise of the Ronin right quick. Big weeb energy here.
Yeah,
man.
Just like Sephiroth's sword.
Oh man. This game, it's not even that long of a trailer. It shows a samurai set in Japan, 1863. This guy, he has this special type of hat. It's called a Sed Shade. Raiden from the Mortal Kombat series wears it. It showcases all these crazy moves. He wields a pistol like a revolver. He wields a musket, and he is peerless, it seems, at least in that world, with the sword. He does all these crazy moves, and he dispatches his opponents one by one. He even jumps off this building and is gliding around on like some type of glider. Like the whole trailer was like an adrenaline rush. And after all that hype, you sitting there hype, they crush all the hype, like pour ice cold water on it by saying it's not coming out until 2024. What in the world?
Yeah,
it is
I'm surprised they showed it
2022.
this early.
Why would you show that this early? Like, what is the point? It's cool, but come on. Like, really? I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but man, that's a real tease. 2024?
2024. And that wasn't even a teaser trailer. Like, that was just straight up an announcement trailer.
Oh, man.
Usually,
one thing
announcement trailers are closer to the release date.
Yeah. Well, I want to say this before I throw it to y'all. He was very acrobatic and athletic with his moves. He wasn't a traditional grounded samurai, but his style seemed like he was using samurai like attacks. And he also wielded different weapons, not only different firearms. One of the parts in the trailer, if I'm not mistaken, he was wielding a naginata. You know, the long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. But I'll let y'all share y'all thoughts on that trailer.
It looked really good. I was a fan of what I saw. I don't think he had a grappling hook, but he had some kind of move where he threw like a chain or something and attached onto an enemy and repelled himself into the enemy, and it had flames on it and everything. It looked really fun.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, it looked really good. Then I saw him do some execution moves where he like used the musket to shoot people point blank range. Just overall, it looks like a very fun game, a very well put together game. Too bad it's 2 years from now, but I mean, that's basically my commentary on it. It looked like a really good game, and the weapon play and all that looked very clean in there. So if it's this early that they're announcing it and the game already looked this good, with more time in the oven, it should look even more better. So I'm excited to see the end product of it. What about you, Lambo?
I'm excited about it too. I'm not sold on it yet, but it's definitely got my interest. You know, just like you guys, I really liked the sword and gunplay, especially the scene that you were talking about where he executes the dude with the rifle. Like, that was a really cool combat scene. But I just feel like they didn't show enough for me to be completely sold on the game yet.
Right.
But I definitely knew when I was watching the trailer, I was like, this is definitely a game Toro's gonna play.
Oh yeah, you can say that again.
Mm-hmm. It definitely seems like they are catering to you with that game and another one that we saw.
Which one is that?
What was it, like a Dragon Ishin? Is that the name of it?
Oh yeah, the next entry in the Yakuza series.
Oh, that's a
Yeah, I seen
Yakuza
it.
game?
Yeah, Like a Dragon is a Yakuza game, and I don't know. I'm not really sold on it. Like, it's cool. It's very bloody and samurai and stuff, but it has the original characters in this samurai setting. So I feel like I need more information before I make a decision on that.
Wasn't this game released in Japan already on PS4?
No, not this
What game
one. I
am
don't
I
think
thinking
so.
of? There was a
I have no
samurai game
idea.
that was released in Japan on PS4, and we never got it, and they're kind of like revamping it and releasing it to the world. I thought that was it.
I don't think that one is it. I don't know. I don't think that's it.
I could be mistaken. There was if not, there's another samurai game that I can't remember the name of that falls under that category.
Let's get to the steak and potatoes of this podcast.
Titers.
BLJ, you have been quiet. I hope you haven't fallen asleep. But I'm throwing this to you. Go ahead and announce our last game that we gonna talk about tonight.
Well, I'm definitely not going to announce the game that we all dislike here. You know, it's a little name goes by the name of SF5. You know, the game was pretty booty,
Yeah.
pretty garbaggio, pretty trash. You know,
Preach it.
I mean, there's been a couple.
Amen.
There's been a couple times, you know, I've been to the movie theaters, you know what I'm saying? And I remember one time I was talking to the people that worked at the theaters, and it was like they have Harkins juice. And I was like, what the hell is Harkins juice? They was like, it's all the juice at the bottom of the trash when we throw it away at the end of the night. And I feel like the last Street Fighter iteration was Harkins juice for sure. But today was an announcement.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Hey, look, I mean, look. Oh, okay. Let me shoot the game a little bit of bit. The way the game is shaped up now, they've added a lot of stuff to it. You know, the game is in a better playable state for sure. But I've just had such a bad taste in my mouth for the game for so long. I don't play it anymore. I haven't played it in a while. The only time I turn it on is if they, like when they announced Luke, I was like, oh, let me try him out, you know. But other than that, I'm just overplaying the game. But anyways, it's not about Street Fighter 5.
No.
Today,
No.
they released a trailer of a very long trailer with a lot going on in it. But Street Fighter 6 released some juicy info today. Some info that got your boy moist over here. Some info
Extra
that got
juicy.
your boy jumping for joy in this thing. Like, I don't really want to take too much time because I know we all got some commentary on this, but let me get this off my chest right now. So I want to say podcast number 1, episode number 1 for us, you know. I remember telling y'all that, you know, Ken was that guy that got me really into Street Fighter. Like, I always thought Street Fighter was dope, but when he did his uppercut and it had 3 hits on it and it had the flames on it, I was like, man, this man is goated forever. And it always brought me into Street Fighter when, like, Ken is that guy. Even though I don't main Ken in any games, Ken is near and dear to your boy's heart. You know what I'm saying? And today, they released a trailer of my boy Ken and others as well. But, like, let's be honest here. Most people was waiting to see what Ken had going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy to say that they didn't do my guy dirty. My guy had all his flame moves. He had some new moves. It looked like he had some new target combos. And he had, it looks like he had I think his level 2 special, maybe. It had a third strike reference in it. If you guys caught it, whenever he does his special, there's like a ray of light that goes horizontal on the screen, and that's how they do it in Street Fighter Alpha 3. I don't know if you guys caught that, but that was in there.
I did not.
You know, you have to slow it down and look at it, but That's in there. They released info on Blanca, and this is coming from a guy that does not like Blanca at all. I think he's an annoying character. Never been a fan of him, but man, they made him look more like beastly. Like he looks like a he's got a body shape of like a gorilla. Like he's like bigger this time around.
Yep.
And then on top of that, I am a huge fan of his costume. He got the overalls on with the yellow bandana around his neck. Boy, when I saw that had me kind of hyped, man. And this is coming from a guy that does not like Blanca at all. They also released info on Honda. I'm not really a Honda guy, but he looks pretty good. And then Dawson as well. Dawson was looking kind of crazy. Dawson had air fireballs. He had EX fireballs that bounced on the ground. And not to mention, the story mode, but they mentioned the new world tour mode. They got it looks like beat 'em up mode in the world tour mode. You can customize characters. They released quite a bit of information today, like a lot. Like I feel like we could do a pod just on the information they released today. But anyways, I went on long enough. Your boy was super excited. One of you guys take over, and I'll jump in here and there.
Well, did y'all notice the elephant missing in the room?
Because there literally was an elephant in the trailer when Dawson was there, so I don't know what you're talking about.
There was, but this trailer showed off all of the World Warriors, right? That haven't been shown off yet.
Correct.
Yes.
But no Geef.
Oh, you're right.
Where the hell is Zangief?
Oh yeah, he isn't here yet. But is he the only one of? I'm not counting the four kings.
No, I'm only counting the original 8 World Warriors.
Yeah.
Zangief is
he
not
the only
there
one
yet.
they haven't shown?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. But
that's why it was weird that they left him out. Because it's like, well, you've shown everyone else in this one trailer. Why not?
September 17th, they said stay tuned. They're going to reveal more. So he might show up the 17th.
He might. I'm just wondering where he's at.
From the leak list, his costume looks pretty dope. So I'm excited to see him in action for sure.
Yeah. Him and they're probably not going to, I think we talked about this in a previous episode, they're not going to have Sagat in the base roster, I don't think.
Probably not. DLC for sure.
But did you notice when Ken shows up in the trailer, on the back of his jacket, it says Eagle Shipping Company.
Haha.
Oh, man.
Does that mean that Eagle could possibly be in the game?
It could be. But I also noticed
would be cool.
that the initials for Eagle Shipping Company are ESC.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Escape, which Ken is trying to escape from someone.
Wow.
Yeah. They did say something about his lore. See if we can bring that up. It says something about his Masters Foundation. He's the vice president of that company.
I think he was the ex-president or something like that.
Ex-vice president, but he wasn't a president. He's a vice president. And they were accused of criminal activity, and it forces Ken to abandon his family and go on the run. So whatever he got accused of, he must be in some deep shit for him to gotta go fast and leave his family behind.
I'm thinking maybe he got accused of being in league with Shadaloo or something. Like you said, it's got to be something serious.
I agree.
I mean, only time will tell, but that does explain why he looks the way he looks. There was a lot of speculation that he was homeless. I know, Toro, you said it looked like he just had a more laid-back look than having his karate gi, But if he's on a run, and he's obviously, on the run means that you're trying to evade people. You're trying not to be seen. So it wouldn't be far-fetched if he's really out here trying to look homeless or just trying to not look like his flashy self to get away from whoever he's trying to get away from. You know what I mean?
They should have had him grow a beard out. This was the opportunity to give Ryu and Ken a beard.
To be fair, he doesn't have his beard grown out, but he has stub, and it looks cool.
We need full beard.
But how do you guys feel about
But no,
like just to kind of go off of like go down the list of some of the things that are in the trailer? But how do you guys feel about like Ken's move set? Like, what do you think about what you saw when it came to his moves in the game?
Oh man. I'll go ahead, Lambo.
I
I'm gonna sit in
haven't
the back.
really looked at the moves yet. I know there's been some footage out where they show specific characters and their move sets. I guess people are able to play it at TGS. I think it's at.
Okay.
So I guess some people are able to play it there, and they're getting some footage. But I haven't looked at any of it yet. So all I can really go on is what was in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I want to say, was that a new super that he did in the trailer? It sounded like he.
Yes. He combined Shinryuken and Shoryu Reppa, and he yelled out Shinryu Reppa. And
That's
I
what
said,
it was.
"Ooh, yeah."
I knew I heard something different, but I couldn't make out exactly what it was.
Something so cool is when he finishes the climax super, he tells whoever he's fighting to shut up. Shut up! I was like, "Whoa, what is going on, young man?" So let me jump in this.
He's angry.
Yeah, let me jump in this Ken Masters discussion. First off, as BLJ said in an early episode, I said I'd have to go with Ken. My expectations have been shattered. Shout out to KOF 15, but I'm blown away. My boy came out here. First off, he has a different voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
Really surprised by that. I don't know. He sounds cool. His design is cool. Like I said, he has some stub on his face. His moves, they're letting him be even flashier. I didn't even think it was possible. He's voiced now by David Matranga. I don't know much of his voice work, but the little stint I heard of him from Ken, it's good. But back to what I was saying, Ken has all his flashy kicks, and they even added new ones. And I'm guessing BLJ, if you noticed, some of his flashy kicks have the fire element on them, but I think those are EX only. I hope they're not. Hopefully, it's like the OG games where if you use the fierce button, they're
Yeah.
flame. But I'm gonna think that they're not gonna let us have that much fun. They're probably gonna lock them behind EX moves. Um, he has some really wicked combos from what I've seen. His throwback level 3 Shinryu Jaku, that's like a level 1 now. You know, all the crazy kicks, and he ends it with the
Yeah.
Tatsu in the air. I think that's like a level 1 super now. And you know what? I fucks with it. I'm with it. What else did I see that I was just super excited about? Let me jump to Honda. Edmund Honda, I'm impressed. I think I'm going to try him out. I'm still not very crazy about the game, but I want to say Honda was one of my uncle's favorite character. One of my uncles, the older uncle, it's two brothers. The older uncle, he was a big E Honda fan, and so I'm gonna play E Honda, as an homage to him. My other uncle, KOF wise, he played with Hurricane Joe, so I run Joe. But I'm gonna give E Honda a try. Like his voice lines, his moves. Did y'all catch the animation for his 100-hand slap?
Yeah.
Yeah, that mug was pretty baller. That mug was thugging. Um, all of his they gave him all his old moves, and they all just look crisp. I want to jump to Doctor Dowson. I call him Doctor Dowson because the movie is goaded. Don't listen to Lambo. He gonna try to give me a rebuttal. But Street Fighter live action movie is one of the greatest movies ever made. R.I.P. Raul Julia. But
They made a live action Street Fighter movie?
oh yeah. You know, M. Bison in that movie referred to Dawson as Dr. Dawson. He's a doctor in that movie. So from here on
Doctor?
out, he'll always be Dr. Dawson to me. But Dawson plays really good. I know I sound like I'm replicating what BLJ said, but he has some really nasty setups. And he just looks so crisp when he does his moves. And Blanca, he's more of the goofier approach, but his model, like I said, he's bulkier now, more primitive, and he's jumping around, releasing electricity. And they even let Blanca Chan, the little doll, people loved it so much that they even brought it back for Street Fighter 6. So
I think that's one of the best things they did.
Yeah, definitely a part of his identity now, and that's definitely love letter to the fans.
It seems like they gave Blanca quite a few new moves.
Yeah, they did. But I'm gonna sit back and wait for more. My faith has been restored in Street Fighter a little bit. It probably went from like a 0.5 to like a 4. I'm still not there. Ken is like, 3.5 of those points because I love Ken. But I'm impressed with Honda too. But I'm still not buying it. Like, sold. I'm not saying I won't, but I'm still not sold where I'll buy day one release.
Yeah.
But
you'll make my BLJ opinion may change here
like soon. That. Yeah. My opinion may change here soon because they're releasing an not open. Take it back. Put your tomatoes down. A closed beta.
Watch it.
You have to get lucky. Yeah. You have to get lucky and get a code. Yeah. They're releasing a closed beta. And I signed up for it. And who knows? Maybe I'll get picked and maybe I'll try the game and I will get on here. I have no problem doing this. I will get on here and be like, hey, guys, I made a huge mistake. This game is going to be great. But that hasn't happened yet, and we'll see. But right now, I'm not too excited about it. And that's my take on Street Fighter 4. I said Street Fighter 4. Boy, I'm tripping. Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I'm going back to 4. But yeah, Street Fighter 6. I don't want to talk too much about the Battle Hub. I've seen it. I'm not too impressed by it. I think it's kind of goofy that your creative characters are doing iconic Street Fighter moves, but I don't want to be the grouchy guy on the porch saying no fun allowed. If that floats your boat, then have fun with it. But it doesn't really interest me. So since I'm yelling Street Fighter 4, Lambo, I'm going to toss the mic to you.
There's only two things I wanted to bring up about the Battle Hub. One, I noticed that you could play some classic Capcom arcade games in there, and they released some information saying that you could compete against other people for high scores. So it looks like you may not be able to play these arcade games with other people online. I'm hoping that's not true, because I think it'd be really fun for us to be like, you know what, let's just go play some drawing a blank on Hagar's game.
Final Fight.
Final Fight. Yeah, let's go play some Final Fight and just jump in the Battle Hub and go play. But they also showed there's going to be older Street Fighter games on there as well. So if we want to play Street Fighter 2 and it does let us play against each other, it'd be cool to just go jump in the Battle Hub and play Street Fighter 2 for a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's done well, I think that could be a really good feature of the Battle Hub. The other thing is, anybody else get some like serious PlayStation Home vibes from the Battle Hub?
Yeah, I remember playing that back in the day. It does look a lot like it.
Like it reminded me of PlayStation Home a lot. And it kind of made me sad that PlayStation Home isn't a thing anymore, because I really thought that was a cool innovation. But Battle Hub's what we got, so I guess that's what we're going to go with.
Hey, I have a quick question for you, Toro. It sounds like you're just not impressed with the game. I ain't gonna say at all, but like your level of excitement is very low. Even with all the info they announced, characters and the new features, which is complete opposite of 5, right? I was wondering, like, what would it take for them to do for you to be like, oh, I'm back on this? Because right now it sounds really low. Like, even though you gave it praise, when you said it's a 4 out of 10, like, it sounds really low still. Like, you're like, don't like this game.
Because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. I ain't gonna go on to J. Cole, but you get where I'm coming from. Man, I don't know. Like, I was super hype about 5. You know how I told you about 5. I just think that they hyped me up with 5. Let's be honest. When 5 came out and they showed Nash and they showed uh people getting kicked through the wall and uh getting kicked into the bus, we were talking about it just like we are
Yeah.
right now. And we just knew that was going to be a great game. And I was so hyped. And I created the Brawlers Tavern, and we had weekly tournaments. And one day I just got smart, and I woke up and said, "This ain't it, Chief." So instead of me making that same mistake again, I'm just going to wait for more information. What would it take for me to be sold? I need to. What I want to do now is like you said about how you got older and you got more patient. Me, I'm getting older, and I instead of me being reckless and assuming, I like to gather more information now before I make a decision.
Right.
Unless it's something like what were we talking about? I could be cautiously optimistic with Tekken 8. And I'm not trying to jump back to the front of the podcast, but Tekken has a history of we were talking about it. Remember we were talking about drastic changes in fighting games, and we said Tekken pretty much sticks to their formula but adds
Yeah.
on. Tekken 8, I can almost guarantee that any character that you played in the past is going to feel the same with a few tweaks to make them feel, not exactly the same. A bit of polish. That's the word I'm looking for. Tekken 8, they polish their characters to where they feel a little bit different. But if you want to go in there with Kazuya and do a sick wall setup, I'm pretty sure you can still do that. Street Fighter 6, their main special moves are going to be the same, but they're going to have a lot of new moves. It's going to feel like a completely different game from 5. I know it is. And I'm hoping that's a good thing because that's a special award I'm going to give out if this game is worse than 5. I feel like it's impossible, but you never know. I'm not going to jinx it. But the answer to your question, the answer lies in the heart of battle. But the answer to your question is I just need to get a feel for the game, try it out, and not make any hasty decisions. I'm not down talking the franchise. I don't want you to think I think Street Fighter as a whole is a 4. They have good lore besides them doing Nash like that. It's just that Street Fighter 4, it wasn't bad. But later on in Street Fighter 4's life cycle, I kind of just, lost interest. It got a little zany with all the crazy costumes like bulls and pit bulls and all this crazy stuff. And the characters that they released, like Yoon and Yang, wasn't a fan. But there are billions of people in the world, I should say, and a lot of those people play Street Fighter, and they like them. So I'm not going to sit here and be selfish. Same thing with DiCaprio. I think that was lazy, and I'm not trying to go too much off topic, but you asked me this question, so I'm trying to go a bit in depth about my decision making. But same thing with DiCaprio. I think that she was a lazy character. Her voice acting was great. Shout out to Miss Caitlin Glass. She voices Cammy and DiCaprio. And DiCaprio has a Russian accent, I believe. But she just looks like Cammy with a new costume on and a scar. And I just think that she's lazy. Not the voice actor, but the character in general. I think her design is lazy. What was another character that was goofy that they added later on? No, Hakan was at the base roster, and he was definitely not the best. But I don't think he was worse.
Yeah, he
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
I thought
Hakan
that
was
he was
not vanilla.
no, not vanilla. But I take it back. They didn't release character packs too much. They released it with each new game because we were still in the PS3 era. But I was thinking Hakan was part of the base roster because he showed up in Super Street Fighter 4. But he definitely wasn't the best. But what was that guy's name? Goki's form? Ogre?
Oni?
Or what was his name? Oni. I thought his name was Ogre. See?
No, that's Tekken.
That fool was lame. That fool was super lame. He had that I didn't like his supers. What else was I going to say? To me, I didn't like Evil Ryu's design where he had that crater in his chest. Like it was a lot of stuff I didn't like cosmetically. But I'm not hammering the game into the ground. Street Fighter 4 was not a bad game. fast forward to 5, and I'm gonna make this brief. They just made too many. I don't even want to say bad decisions. Unimpressive decisions. Story wise, gameplay wise. We talked about this in another episode, so I'm not going into that. But long story short, because I'm rambling and I don't want to ramble, I need to physically play the game so I can get a feel for it, and I just want to see the quality of life. If the quality of life is something I can get behind, then yes.
So what you're saying is, ask you again after the beta.
Yeah, that's a. But sometimes even the beta, I want to ask me again after we get the full game, because the beta could have something wrong with it. And
Well, surely
I
you'll
won't be
update your
impressed.
opinion after the beta, though.
Okay, well, I hope it. I hope that the point system goes up, and I'm not.
Oh, I'm not saying that you're gonna be more positive towards the game after the beta. I'm just saying your opinion will change, whether negatively or positively.
But no, what I'm saying is I hope that I'm more positive.
Yeah.
I want to be more positive.
Well, here's hoping then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's my take on it.
What about you, Mr. Lambo? Like, you may have told me how you feel about Street Fighter as a whole. Do you feel the same way as Toro, or no?
I don't think I'm as cautious as Toro is, because I didn't buy Street Fighter V when it first came out, so I don't feel as burned by it. I mean, Street Fighter 4, towards the end of its life cycle, I was already falling off anyway, and so when 5 came out, I wasn't really that into it, and everybody else was talking about how it wasn't that good, and I heard ahead of time, hey, there's not a story, there's not really any content to it, and I was like, nah, I'm all right. There's other fighting games for me to play. And so I jumped into Injustice or Mortal Kombat or whatever was out at the same time, and just didn't really pick up 5. I think it was like 2 years after release that I finally picked up 5 for like $20. Mm-hmm. And so I don't feel as burned. But when it comes to 6, I'm interested in it. I'm optimistic about it based on what we've seen so far, but I'm not 100% sold.
I see. Well, for it was that.
Ask me again after the beta.
Okay. For me personally, I'm kind of with you guys. Not as strong as Toro. You know, like Street Fighter just always been my game. You know, and Street Fighter 5 really did burn your boy a little bit, you know? So all this new Street Fighter news, for me, it just always gets me super excited. But I'm still a little, you know, hesitant to just jump on 6. But I will say everything they've been showing so far, like all the stages look really good. The character designs look really good. The one thing that is important to me that wasn't in 5 that really rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm a guy that really likes combos. They ain't got to be super long combos or flashy combos or nothing like that. I just like being able to do combos, you know. And I feel like in 5, they limited the system so much to the point where you just can't do combos. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just kind of took that ability away. You went from Street Fighter 4 to where they had FADC combos, like just to give you an example, and I probably put a video up right here, but like in Street Fighter 4, right? Let's just use Ryu for example. You could do like 2 jabs into low roundhouse. You could do like a crouching jab and a standing jab in the low roundhouse, or you could do like crouching jab and the crouching strong in the low roundhouse, you know. And these are just examples that you could do in 4. You know what I mean? And when 5 came, I'm not saying they have to have the same exact combos. I get it. It's a new game and you want to have new combos and stuff like that. But the stuff that I named that 4 could do, like they limited the system so much in 5 to where like, let's say like if there was like the mass amount, like the most combos Ryu could do in 5, let's say he can only do like if you just brainstorm out the box and you just thought of all these combos, the most combos he could do is probably like 30 different combos or something like that, right? But in 4, Ryu could probably do like 60 70 combos, because that's how the way they had the, frame data and stuff set up. Like, it was just more creativity that you could work with in that game. So in 5, they took that away. And for me, that's what really like cut me deep. I wasn't one of those people that was like, the story mode is not here and I'm pissed off or whatever. I was thinking the whole time, I was like, bro, like, for me personally, if I play the arcade mode or the story mode, that's literally something I'll play the first time when I get the game for maybe a couple days, maybe even a week. And then after that, it's just training mode and online. You know what I mean? Like, that's how most fighting games are, you know what I mean? But some people, they were really mad about the story mode and stuff. And I just wasn't one of those guys. I just wanted to get in training mode, learn new combos. And after playing with each character in training mode, I want to say after like an hour, maybe not even an hour, like it was like, man, this is it. Like, this is all you can do with this character, like combo wise.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem a lot of people had with the story mode part is that there was no content to the game.
Yeah.
But they were still charging full price.
Oh yeah, the game was super unfinished.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've been seeing in 6, what gets me excited about it is the combos. They do look kind of Street Fighter 5-ish, but one thing that I've seen a lot in the trailers is whatever the drive move is, where you press forward twice and you can dash up after you link normals, that opens up the window of like opportunity for more combos for everyone. You know what I mean? So that right there alone gets me excited about the game. That's all I want, is to be able to whiff punish somebody, or whatever mistake you make, I can punish you with this decent combo if I have the resources. You know what I mean? And with 5, you can punish people for sure with combos. Like, the damage was pretty high and stuff like that, but they were just very basic ABC combos. You know what I'm saying? Versus in 4, if you really want to get funky with it, you can do A, B, C, D, D, F, G level combos. You know what I'm saying? But 5 was...
That's exactly the problem I had with 5 is 5 just doesn't feel satisfying freedom when you do something.
Yeah. Lack of creative freedom. That's what I was going to say earlier. Like, that was the deal breaker for you, DLJ, is you didn't have that creative freedom. You didn't feel like you was expressing yourself combo wise. Like, if it's this big stacked big name tournament and it's a Ryu mirror match, this Ryu could play different from the other Ryu. But in 5, they largely played the same with the same game plan and the same combos. Whereas in 4, it could look different.
Check this example out, right? In 4, and I'm using Ryu as an example because anybody who looks at this, everybody knows Ryu, so you'll be more familiar with him. But go back to Street Fighter 4. There was a lot of popular Ryu players. You had Daigo. You had Air. You remember Air? There's a guy, I think his name is John Choi. You had Alex Valle. What's the one guy, man? Oh my gosh, this is one Ryu, man. He kind of plays kind of YOLO, but he's so hard, man. What is his name, man? If I think of it, man, I know it once I look at it, because he recently fought Smug in the tournament, man, Street Fighter 4 tournament. But anyways, I just named like 5, 6 different Ryus. Because of the freedom in the combo system in Street Fighter 4, you could watch any of these Ryus and not know who's playing, but based off the combos that they were doing, you could be like, oh, that's this guy. Or, oh, that's that guy. And in 5, they took that away. Like, every Ryu had the same exact combos. The only time you could do different combos is if it was like a crazy scenario, counter hit. You had to be at this distance or hit them like super meaty to be able to do it, or something like that. But like, other than that, man, everybody like had the exact same combos, and that right there, man, just really put a bad taste in my mouth. So
it looks like 6 is gonna fix that for you.
I hope so. I really do. I mean, right now, like I said, it looks like, well, actually, I mean, I've seen Chun-Li do air supers. I've seen Blanca do an air Blanca ball. So even though like the combo system kind of looks 5-ish, but the drive system makes it look a little different. Like, there's more opportunity to do different combos. The fact that you can do air supers like with Chun-Li, which she's never been able to do, I've even seen Jamie do freak. What did he do? He comboed after his level 3. I don't know if that'll be patched out or if it'll stay in, but like in a Street Fighter game, I'm pretty sure that's unheard of to combo after a ultra or whatever. You know what I mean? So right now, that's what I need in a fighting game. I need that room to be myself in the game. You know what I mean? And 5 took that away. So right now, everything that they have in the game, the World Tour mode and all that stuff, it all looks good. It looks really good. But when it comes down to like what I know I'm going to be doing when I get the game is basically going in training mode and just playing online, maybe a tournament here and there. I just want to be able to express myself when I play. You know what I mean? That's it.
So tell me if you think this is a apt comparison, Toro. Does he sound like us when Soul Calibur 6 was going through all their marketing and we were learning about it? Sound like he's as hyped about Street Fighter 6 as we were Soul Calibur 6? Yeah. And we were disappointed with our Soul Calibur 5. So our 5th entry, we were disappointed. Yours, you were disappointed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something about the number 5.
Yeah, man. So
bright futures ahead is what I'm trying to say.
And I feel like I'd be a little harsh on it when I'd be like, all right, this game is Harkins juice. But in the beginning, I mean, even though for me, the content wasn't really my issue, it was just like the combo system. But like overall as a game, it wasn't that great. And like we said in the previous pod, like unfinished games seem to be the norm these days, But Street Fighter 6 so far, if everything that they're showing is in the game, like if they're not gonna release the game and then separately you gotta pay for the World Tour mode, if they don't do something like that, like they seem like they're going to be releasing a finished product, hopefully. Because the stuff that they're showing, it's really raising the expectation level, So especially with the customization that you can do. I know Torian said you're not a fan of that or whatever, but like the fact that they're doing that in a Street Fighter game, like that's new. Like to create your own character, how you want them to look, like that's a Tekken Soul Calibur thing, you know what I mean? So to have that in a Street Fighter game is pretty huge, I'd say. I don't know if it's gonna be like in Tekken and Soul Calibur where you can take that character online. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they did or didn't, but the fact that they give me this
it'd probably be in casual matches only.
Yeah, probably. But the fact that they're doing it, like it makes me excited about it. I feel like based off what I've been seeing and how great things are looking right now, like I feel like they really like took it to heart. Like, man, 5 was not it. So this next game we got to make it look great. And so far, like it's complete opposite of 5. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that they're releasing, how great everything looks. Like, look, this is a guy that doesn't like Guile at all. I've never been a fan of Guile, but Guile looks amazing in this game. His stage looks amazing in this game. His supers look amazing in this game. This is coming from a guy that doesn't like Blanca at all. But Blanca looks amazing in this game. His costume is amazing. This fool throw out a little, what you call it, a Blanca chant, a little doll. Like, it looks cool. Like, I'm really impressed. I don't think I'll play Blanca, but you best believe he looks way cooler than he's ever looked in any game, at least to me. You know what I mean? So, and this is coming from a guy that don't like these characters at all. Like, I never play Guile. I never play Blanca. But, like, I'm looking at these guys like, man, I might try them out a little bit just because of how cool they look. And then Blanca's stage, I don't know if you guys, like, really looked at it, but his stage was fucking nice. That shit looks so good.
Yeah, it's an updated version of his Street Fighter 2 stage, I think.
Yeah, yep. It was
That mug
it looked great.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, man, I'm on par with you guys. Like, I guess I'm more hyped about it than you guys are obviously at shows because I've been talking for like 10 minutes straight on it. but
why we saved it till
at the same time, man, 5 just wasn't it, man. It put a bad taste in my mouth. So hopefully 6 gets it right, man. And so far it's looking really good. Like there hasn't been much that I've seen. I was like, I don't like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Oh, the only thing I don't like about it so far is it looks like the beta that's coming out is going to be for the next gen consoles, which I don't have. So I won't say I'll be super disappointed that I don't get to play, because I was at Evo and I was in line to play the game, but because they were BSing with the cabinets, I couldn't play the game. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to wait an hour to play a game that I'm second in line for, so I left. But if I don't get to play it this time, I'm pretty sure
disappointed.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I was super disappointed then, but like I'm pretty sure with the beta, a lot of people get their hands on it. A lot of people upload clips. I even seen in the beta they're gonna have a training mode too. So I know a lot of people are gonna go in training mode, break stuff down more, and I will have a blast looking at all of it. Best believe me, you know, because I really want to see what the game can do. I just want to see. Long story short, I'm super long-winded. Just if they got creativity, they can let us express ourselves. I'll be a happy camper. You know, I'm not saying I'm off the Street Fighter train, but if they put the creativity there, like I'm back in, like full effect. You know, so that's my 2 cents.
It's definitely shaping up to be something something different. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man.
But the one thing I'm not happy about is that we don't have Zangief yet.
And I have a feeling he's gonna look really nice too. Like right now, like all the characters look really good. So I have no doubt in my mind, like he's gonna have something that's like, whoa, I can't believe they gave Zangief that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Here's hoping.
I'm about to park the party wagon, but before I do, I want to say, in an earlier episode, I was 100% sure they was gonna hold out Ken until like the end. I'm super surprised that he made it in before Zangief. I was sure that they was gonna show them first and be like, we know who you want, and we'll show them to you. But I think it was a great decision to show us Ken. Now all these conspiracies can get laid to rest. But I really thought he was gonna pop up last. But long story short, this is a good conversation with State of Play and Tokyo Game Show. Okay, I said it right this time. I'm just waiting for more. Yeah, I'm waiting for more information. And that's my closing thoughts on it. I'm going to let y'all take it from here. But I like reveals like this. Like I say, this is a welcome breath of fresh air with all this gaming news and the fun stuff. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, I was impressed with what they had to show. Because I'm not trying to bring up the corona, but with that stuff, I feel like the reveals, since everybody had to be isolated and development was slower, I feel like I'm still grateful that we got reveals. I just felt like they were a bit lackluster. And it makes sense given the situation. But now, hopefully things go back to normal, but restrictions have eased up. And I feel like these crazy powerful reveals are starting to happen again, because this was a very stacked list of games for State of Play and the game show, because I was impressed.
And we didn't even touch on everything.
Oh yeah, man, we shouldn't be touching on anything.
Careful. We were doing good. We were at the end. And
Texas boys
just had to go there.
Anyways, Street Fighter 6 additional information September 17th.
Yep.
So we'll let Bill J lead the charge on that next time. It's been an honor.
Always.
I'm gonna let the homies give out their closing statements, but I had a blast, and y'all take it away.
Well, to piggyback off of Toro's sentiment, you know, the game show / the State of Play, they announced a lot of cool things that I'm definitely excited for. Obviously, Tokyo Game Show showing off Street Fighter. That's my thing, you know. So, like I said, it's looking really good, looking positive so far, you know. So, anybody on the same boat as me or as Toro or even Lambo, let us know in the comments why you feel good or bad about Street Fighter. You know, what do you want to see? What do you not like? What do you What did you not like? What do you hope for? Or whatever. So there's a lot of news out there the last week, not even a week. A lot of stuff's came out. So let us know what's up, man. And on to you, Lambo.
Yeah. You guys know what it is. Just like always, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe button, tell your friends how cool we are, and leave a comment. Let us know what was revealed in Tokyo Game Show or at what's the other one? I can't think of the name of it now. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
State of Play.
State of Play. Yep, that's the one. Let us know what was revealed, whether we talked about it or not. Let us know what you're excited about. And with that being said, y'all stay cool.
Yep.
And thank you for playing video games. And thank you for playing this podcast.
For making Ken great again. What? Come on now. Come on now.
I agree.
My boy out here flaming
All right,
it
y'all,
up.
let's go play
All
some
right.
Captain Commando.
You say you going commando. Boy, y'all Texas boys is weird,
Oh,
boy.
we're going to go. We're going to play Captain Commando.
Okay.
All right.
Later.
Later, guys.
Later.